Well, I pointed out a spelling mistake, so I think I stand for yeah. Yes, as why Swedish don't understand words. See, it's not v, it's w. Edwin. There you go. That is the correct way to spell it. Yeah. So am I, which is why it's spelled the way that it is. It's got a silent Q. Okay. Yeah, it should have. To be fair, it's probably more of a mistype, but it should have only been one I. But that's just the way that it was typed in my notes, and so that's just the way it is now. Yeah, that's, yeah. So nice, she named me twice. Yeah.
your dice.
And we're up. Just need to wait because I tweaked my audio levels, so I want to make sure that it's... Jesus. That fucking wolf.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
spooked.
Audio is fine. Bastard and wolf.
I mean, you might need to warn, like, content warning, jump scare at the start of a video.
Maybe I had thought of that.
Because we might scare away people otherwise from actually watching it.
If they get scared away by a little wolf, we don't want them here.
Cowards.
It's just...
but we do! Numbers!
Alright, do we have any announcements?
Important ones or just announcements?
Well, seeing as someone is really keen to get started, Cloak, I would say just important ones.
Okay, I got new pens.
Sure.
I think that's very important for my very important notebook.
Well, yes, you need to take the journal entries.
Yeah. Oh yeah, important announcement actually. If you haven't joined our Discord server and you're watching and you're wondering what is this journal entry he just mentioned, go join our Discord. Strix is sharing her journal.
And there's also artwork and stuff from the campaign gets put in there. And also theme music and stuff and combat music if and when it's applicable.
Yes.
Will be put in there.
So yeah. Go check that out.
Alright. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So last time you'd arrived in Barovia, you'd been dropped off by Strahd. He was kind enough to give you a lift. You then went into the tavern, Blood of the Vine Tavern, and in there you met a couple of people. Three.
Yes, we got to learn the Vistani by smart because
Okay, cool. Thank you. To check, I was like, did you actually get? Yeah. So you met three Vistani women who Cloak and Cian had a little bit of a conversation with. More importantly, you also met Cian, Paladin of Lathander, and Ismark. And you had also found a man who was checked out for all intents and purposes. Ismark called him the Mist-Touched, and he bore the same injury as Daniel used to have, the bent-in leg. You spent a very long time poking and prodding this poor man and seeing what this, it's just like, is it meant to bend like that? It's fine.
Yeah.
All the while you were poking and prodding, he didn't really react. He just carried on drinking and smoking his pipe. After Ismark realised that you were dropped off by Strahd, he panicked and bolted back to his house and asked Cian if he could get used to follow to help. He was obviously concerned about something. When you arrived, you met his sister, Irina, and you found out that Strahd had been visiting her for the past couple of nights, and they were concerned that if there was another visit, that there wouldn't be any more. You've seen that their father was dead and is in a makeshift coffin in the landing. He died, as they said, previous to you coming. You don't know whether that was the night before or a couple of nights ago. Hard to tell, but he died before you arrived. And each night the house had been attacked by various beasties. Cloak had managed to work out that the majority of them were wolf claw marks that had clawed through the building, but there were a couple of larger ones that may have been dire wolves. After this, you had settled in the sort of study area. Ismark had went off to make some dinner and had invited you to stay the night. After requesting if you could help take Irina to Vallaki, which you don't know much more about, but that's where he wanted to take her to for safety for whatever reason. But Irina is not wanting to leave until her father is buried. And you are all sitting around the fire while Ismark is busy in the kitchen cooking and banging pots and making bits and pieces. And Irina had been asking about, where were you from? How did you get here? Sort of general chit chat. You had also asked a few questions of her but she did seem really keen to find out more about where he came from and seemed quite excited by the prospect.
Mm-hmm.
So, yous are sitting, chilling by the fire.
I'm not.
Oh yes, you were overlooking at the books, isn't that right?
Yes, I'm looking through the books.
Yes, you were looking through the
and
books.
like taking a few flipping pages, putting them back, taking another one.
Cian, were you beside the fire? Am I right in thinking?
Yeah, I was just sitting there.
Yeah, you were
to get her cloak.
Yeah, so you were there with Cloak. And Daniel, were you milling about or? Alright, so we'll say Daniel was, I don't know, probably standing awkwardly waiting for someone to tell him where to go. But do you know what? No, do you know what Daniel's doing? He's behind Strix. He followed Strix. I think that's on par.
I don't know if Strix cares, to be honest, cause
yeah, she's probably engrossed.
Yeah.
In your books. Do you know what? Let's start off with a roll. Cian, give me a perception check.
So I guess just roll?
Yeah, it's a D20 roll and then add your perception. In fact, if you're on D&D Beyond, I think if you just click on your perception skill, which is it should be in the middle there, there should be a little modifier beside it. If you click on that, I think it should roll with it automatically.
Where?
No, you need to right-click it.
Oh, do you right-click it? No, I don't.
Where am I? Where is it? Where is it?
Okay, so
Actions?
I had to pick on you, didn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Hold on, let me pull up your character sheet for you. Let's have a look.
So perception, you see you have the 3 columns of boxes, yeah?
At spells or where?
No, it's just in the center of your.
Yeah, instant center next to that box. You have a long box with a lot of skills listed, like acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, athletics, deception.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Perception, and if you right-click it, you should be able to get up the option to roll with advantage.
Actually, if you just click it with the left click, it'll roll normally.
Yeah.
If you right-click it, you can select if you want to roll with advantage or disadvantage or roll.
Yeah, sorry, it was not with advantage.
No, it was just straight roll.
Sorry.
Confusing matters.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, the roll thing. Oh, I think. 6.
6. Okay. No, yep, you're pretty flames in front of you.
Wait, didn't you realize there was something? Because he did the spell, and didn't he realize there was something iffy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything around me felt.
Yeah. So
strange.
he had done his divine sense, and he had got the vibe from Irina that she was good. There's nothing overly evil or worrying coming from her. I don't know whether Ismark would have actually been in range. It was about 60 feet. I can't remember. Is it line of sight?
Anything except stuff that's behind total cover.
Okay, so no. So you wouldn't up off Ismark. It would have been just your companions, which, as far as I'm aware, none of you have the evil alignment. And Irina is fine. Nothing worrying coming from her, but you did have to make a save because it took you sort of somewhat by surprise. Just an overwhelming sense of just evil, just something not being right. Assailed you as soon as you'd done this. You managed to keep your cool and you were fine. You rolled quite well, if I remember. So you managed to sort of steady yourself after the shock of it. But yeah, that was what you noticed, and I believe you relayed that to Cloak just before we ended. Did you?
I think I just whispered, didn't I? I think I just whispered it to myself.
Oh, okay.
I haven't written anything, so I know Strix didn't hear it.
Okay. No. I think I remember you did say you just mumbled it to yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So while you're sitting there, Irina's being back in the chair, sort of kicking back, and she looks at you, Cloak, and
I kind of curled up at the fireplace to my side with the one eye just kind of scanning, but just enjoying the warmth and the comfort.
Yeah. She sort of leans around Cian, because I'm assuming, I don't know, that you're in behind Cian's here, and then Irina's in behind a bit more. I don't know, that's just the way I imagined it lined up. So she sort of like pokes her head round. You all right there?
I'm fine.
Would you like a blanket? Are you cold?
No.
Those are interesting robes.
Kind of look at her, and the eye kind of like narrows, like, Thank you.
She just smiles and nods, and leans back, looks at the rest of it.
Keep my eye on her.
So, how long have you been in Barovia? She just says it out sort of to the group, like sort of taking you all in.
What time is it now?
It's... Sorry, are you asking her or are you asking me?
Asking you as the DM.
Yeah, okay. It's, let me see, it's probably about 6, 7?
6, 7, and they had gotten there at like midday, right?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Yeah. So would about 6 hours be accurate estimation?
Yeah, that'll be fair.
Yeah, about 6 hours. Take or give.
Alright. How did you get here? Through the mists?
What do you know about the mists?
She shrugs and goes, that's where outsiders come from.
Through the mists?
Yeah.
Do they disappear if they walk into the mists from this direction?
Have you seen the barman?
Yeah.
That's what happens if you go into the mists. That's why we call them mist-touched.
I didn't see the barman. What happened?
He's the lights are on, but no one's home.
It's like his mind wasn't there. His body was there. He was going through the motions. But he wasn't really responsive.
You see Cloak kind of looking at Daniel.
Not that way. Differently. Daniel's responsive.
Poor Daniel. Yeah.
It's like the man whose knee we investigated. There's something off.
Why were you looking at a man's knee?
Scholarly reasons.
Okay.
Apparently, Strahd drained damage from his knee to heal Daniel.
He did what?
He sucked the energy out of that guy's knee, apparently from a great distance, or, well, a distance, and used it to make Daniel's knee feel a bit better.
Why?
I don't know.
Probably to make himself look better.
I could see that.
I mean, the impression we got from meeting him and the way you've been talking about him doesn't really align.
People will talk about him differently.
In good ways?
Some of them might. And while you're leaning there, you then hear a just constant knocking. And it starts getting more and more frantic. And Irina sort of turns around. Do you have anyone else with you?
No.
She stands up and starts to go towards the door. But as she does, Ismark sort of beats her to it. He comes running out from presumably wherever the kitchen is and holds his hand out to her and sort of gestures to her to get back. And he goes over to the door. That's still someone's like properly rattling on the door. And he peeks through a little like a what you call them, like a window hole that you can sort of slot to the side to look through. Yeah, and he sort of like quickly looks through that and puts it down, sort of goes, and looks at Irene and goes, "It's Mary." She's like, let her in. And he unbolts the door, pulls it back. As soon as he does this woman in almost rags, like similar sort of state as Cloak and Daniel's rags, sort of just wrapped around her, with a hood up and black grey, like streaked hair is quite unkempt and tangled, sort of hanging down. And she sort of falls in through the door and sort of grabs at Ismark and sort of almost on her knees begging. So he's like, "She's taking Gertrude. He's taking Gertrude." And she's like shaking him, and he's trying to calm her down. He's like, "Come on, look, tell us what's happened. What's happened?" As Irina sort of comes over to sort of help her up, and as Irina sort of helps her up, and they guide her into the living area where you're sitting, and as they're guiding her in, she's sort of like clutching her hands and just mumbling Gertrude over and over again. They come in and sort of sit her down.
I still lie there, kind of comfortable, kind of observing it all.
Yeah, sure.
Trixie's gonna put the book away.
Not into your cloak, no.
I mean, is it an interesting book?
Give me a roll, or just a d20.
Yes, a d20. 11.
Not overly.
Yeah, then back.
So you put the book back. Kane and Daniel, you just watch, see how things unfold. Yeah, cool. So after they get her seated, Ismark sort of sits beside her, puts his hand on her shoulder, and he's like, "Look, speak slowly. What's happened?" And she's still mumbling, rocking back and forth. He's taking Gertrude. He's taking Gertrude. Mm-hmm. And whenever she's still rocking, Irina goes to her other side, puts her hand on. She's like, "Who's taken?" And the woman sort of recoils away from Irina a bit and sort of points with a shaky hand. She's like, "You're him," pointing to Irina.
Can I get some popcorn?
And she's still pointing, shaking. Ismark calms her down. He's like, look, come on, I'll take you back home. And he sort of stands her back and but you have to save Gertrude. And it's okay. Look, we'll find. Come on. And
who's Gertrude?
She perks up whenever you say Gertrude, and she goes, my daughter.
Your daughter? Description?
She's pretty, like her mother, black hair, but she's so frail. She can't survive that long with him.
Him?
She again glances at Irina. The devil.
The devil.
You can see Irina sort of standing behind her, and she mouths to Strahd.
I see.
Will you go and help? You find Irina, bring her home. Please bring her home. And Ismark's at this point still trying to like usher her out the door a bit. He's like, "No, come on, look, I'll walk you home. Come on, we'll get this sorted." After a bit, he does finally manage to drag her away and towards the door. Oh yeah.
Are we allowed to discuss stuff during?
How do you
mean? You explain stuff. Well, like for instance, if we want to follow them, is it possible?
Yeah.
I mean, that should be possible, right? Yeah, but we can discuss. We can discuss it, right, with everyone here.
You can discuss it, but the people in the room would also hear.
Oh, yeah,
No, I
because
meant
it's
like
out of character.
out of character,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Make this.
Well, if you want to follow, or more importantly, if Kane want to follow,
Okay, well,
I
in that case,
suggest-
yeah, I want. Then I guess I walk up to Strix and ask her, or I go up to Strix,
sure.
and then I ask, or maybe send an owl and follow them.
I could send my owl, yes.
Yeah, see
But-
where they're going.
If something happens here, I would like someone to tug my arm twice.
I just turn to Daniel and like,
Daniel,
your
you'll
your
tug
time
my
to
arm
shine.
twice in case they need my assistance here. Okay, because I won't be able to hear or see you. All right then.
okay,
Strix goes and sits down on the sofa,
Sure.
and then leans back and goes off into her role.
Sure. And you'd left the owl circling, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I did.
Sure. So
I'll look at the sister and I'll kind of ask her, like, why are you not helping her?
Irina turns as you see Ismark sort of out the door with like ushering the woman out and closes the door behind them. She sits down. She says, "That woman is we call her Mad Mary. She's her daughter is probably the same age as me, but she still seems to think she's a child. And anytime she is away for more than a day, she freaks out and says that someone or something has taken her or something's been wrong. So she's probably out somewhere, boyfriend or something, I don't know. It's 9 times out of 10, it's fine.
All right.
is it normal for people to stay out for longer than a day?
Not here, but it happens. And
9
especially
times out of
with
10 implies that at least one time it wasn't okay. So Daniel was going to say, what about the 10th time?
not okay. I mean, there are wolves, other creatures out in the forest, especially at night time. It's not safe to go walking, but most people in Barovia have the sense to stay away from those areas and at least be inside at night. She'll be fine. You'll walk her home. I'm sure her daughter will turn up in the morning and it'll be fine until the next crazy event.
I'll just. How long have I been resting?
Good question. How long do you need?
Well, Cloak would really like to have had a short rest, so her wild-shaped things have at least returned to her.
Yeah, I'll say it's been an hour. Yeah.
All right, good. Then she kind of like stretches herself and get up, and she'll head towards the kitchen.
Sure. Yeah, you can go towards the kitchen. As you're walking past, though, Irina does turn and go. Are you okay?
Fine.
Can I help you find anything?
Oh, just make yourself at home and shit.
I'm okay. I leave the room.
She gives a funny look as you go past, like, are they okay? Sort of says to the room.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, why?
Just point at Cloak.
Sure. Are they a danger to themselves or anyone
Maybe.
else?
Hard to tell.
Okay. I'm just gonna go and keep an eye on them. And she stands and sort of, casually strolls behind you. Cloak, you can find the kitchen easy enough. You sort of have to go through the room that has the coffin in it, the sort of dining room, but towards the back of it you can follow the smells. And there's a door into quite a nice scullery type kitchen. That's two words doing the same thing, but there's like a nice range, wood burning range, and then like a pantry off to the right, and plenty of space for chopping and preparing meals and stuff. And there's a few things on the range already cooking and simmering.
Yeah, while I'm moving towards the kitchen, I'll probably look for something that is reasonably light and easy for me to climb off and onto, because I'm assuming that it's human height. So I'm considerably shorter than that. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we'll say there's a stool sitting about that you could easily manage to move.
There you go. Okay, so I kind of drag it in from the living room into.
Just have Irene grab it and carry it for.
And I'll look into the kitchen. And I'll kind of because he was preparing food, and now that he's leaving to kind of walk her home, I don't want the food to burn. So I'll start picking up where he left off.
Sorry, are you a gnome or a halfling?
I'm a gnome, but
just checking. Just food's.
I mean, plants die here constantly, so food's probably pretty scarce.
Fair. I can see your logic there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So are you just going in to tend the food? Is that?
Maybe even expand on it.
Sure. Give me a roll.
What do you want?
What do I want? Nature?
Nature? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be nice. Nature. Go for it.
There we go.
It's either going to be that or survival, so I'll be nice.
That's 16.
16. All right. Yeah. So you find the stuff he's making, like a soup. Then there's like a chicken broth, a meat broth. You're not entirely sure what's in it. And there's a couple of pies baking in the oven bit of the range, and you add a bit of spices and change a few bits and pieces, and now so it'll be lovely.
Yeah. So, might even use my druid craft to make the spices taste a bit better and stuff.
Sure. Neil, while you're... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, whilst Cloak is cooking and putting in spice and stuff, I head towards the dining room, towards the coven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just look around whether Irene is somewhere around.
Yeah, so Irina has basically followed Cloak and is like sort of cross-armed leaning against the door of the kitchen while watching this stranger in the house run around starting to look after her brother's meals, and she's just sort of looking with, I don't know, amused interest at this scene.
That's between the kitchen and the dining room, right?
Yeah, so if you're in the dining room, she's basically in the dining room, but she would have her back to you, effectively.
Okay. So I walk up to the coffin and I look at her and I just ask, do you mind?
She looks over her
implying,
shoulder.
Implying that I want to open the coffin and see.
It depends why.
For prayer.
She sort of thinks for a second and then goes, sure.
Okay. So I open the coffin and do I see anything weird or?
Well, you see a dead body.
Okay. Well, then I just start praying.
So yeah, you see a guy who looks like Ismark but older. You see father, there's similarities there. Same sort of length of hair, but it's grey, and he's dressed in the similar fine clothing, although he has substantially bigger belly. So he's grown into his dad bod, as it were. But he's there and is starting to decay a bit. You can tell, so it does look like he's been here for
a while,
at least a few days.
Oh, okay. Well, I start praying.
Sure. Whenever you put your hands together, you see Irina come over, and she kneels down beside the coffin as well and joins you.
So when I finish praying, how long has he been dead?
Since 2 nights ago.
I'm terribly sorry.
She
He looks a lot like his mark.
She nods. And while that's happening, the owl.
Yes, what do I see?
You see Barovia.
Ooh. Is he pretty?
Not really.
Oh.
It would be better if there was like some flowers, but they all seem to die.
Note self, this is a disappointing land.
So yes, you're circling around, and the ticket you hone in on Ismark, and
I will stalk them through the air.
So you can see that as he's walking, she's still shaking and waving and ranting about Gertrude, and Ismark still he's quite not rough, but like firmly urging her on. Like, you know, if he stopped, she would probably just crumple to the ground and stay there and complain like a child, going, "I want my thing." So he's guiding her down one of the sort of main streets, and they walk for about 10-15 minutes or so, until they get to a house that looks basically like the others, dilapidated, could be abandoned for all you know. There's a few boarded up windows, there's some scratch marks and stuff on the walls. It just doesn't look like a nice place, but compared to the rest of the houses, it sort of fits in. And once there, he goes up, opens the door, takes her inside, and stays inside for a few minutes or so before he leaves, and hurriedly sort of closes the door behind him. Sort of like the way that you would do if you're like trying not to let an animal out. Whenever the dog's trying to come to the door and you're quick like, no, you stay there. Similar sort of motions as he closes the door, and then he starts heading back towards the house, or starts heading that direction. Now, give me a perception check.
Ooh, perception. 12. No, 10. 10.
10. No, it's getting dark. Oh wait, no, yeah, you're in the owl. It has night dark vision, doesn't it? Oh, it does. Okay, yeah, 10. Probably notice that the streets are fairly empty in that case. But you see, as Ismark's coming back, he sort of gives a wave down one of the streets, just like a sort of friendly, "Hey, how you doing?" as he turns and walks off. And you see a old woman pushing a cart down the street that way.
Okay.
All right. So Ismark heads back towards the house, and the old woman is just heading down the street, sort of down the main street. Do you carry on with
watch
Ismark?
her for a moment.
You watch her. All right.
Yeah, for a moment. I know where Ismark is going, but why is he waving at the lady with the cart? Because you haven't seen that many people, and seeing a lady with a cart is not something they have seen yet.
All right, yeah. So whenever Ismark waved, you would have noticed that she sort of gives a friendly, sort of, what I can only describe as like a granny wave. I don't know if I like the, sort of, with the, that there, yes, what Cloak did basically, sort of, kind of wave you'd get from your granny, as this woman then heads down the street, and as she gets to sort of just past Mary's house where Ismark dropped her off, you see a couple of doors open as the woman comes past, and a few people hurriedly come out towards her, and you can see that they're exchanging something like money or whatever it may be. They're giving her something, and she opens the cart up and it starts handing out things to them. And with a 10, if you want a closer look, you're gonna need to give me another check.
Can I give you another check?
You can give me another check.
Perception?
Yeah.
23.
Oh, there we go. Jeez, yeah, you can see where they were made. It's pies or pastries of some
course,
shape or
like-
form.
Oh, the owl sense takes over. Food.
Yep. So yeah, so you can clearly tell they're giving her, a couple of silver pieces or a couple of gold, depending on what it is they're getting, and she's handing out various pastries. Some of them look like meat pies, others maybe look more dessert-like, and she's dishing these out. And there's probably more people out here to meet this woman than you've seen in Barovia yet, even in the contents of the pub or the tavern. And just whenever they're all done, she sort of puts it up and then moves on down to the next part of the street.
Yeah, I will stop watching because it's a lady with pies.
Sure. Do you stay in the aisle or do you go back?
I will fly back and see if I can spot Ismark, and if I can spot Ismark, I'll go out of all mode.
Yeah, you go back. You can easily spot him. He's not far from the house now.
Yeah, and I will tell my owl to land on the house.
Sure. So you'll pop back into yourself at the point when Cian has just finished his prayer. So Cian, back to you. Oh, sorry, Daniel.
I was just wondering, is there a couch in which she is sitting on?
Yes.
Yeah.
When she is done, Daniel goes to sleep under the couch.
Sure.
You okay there, Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not want to be in the couch?
She's just under the couch, trying to sleep.
Do you want me to wake you when there's food?
Mm-mm. Thank you, though.
Okay, I'll wake you in the morning.
Okay.
All right. Sure. So,
Is it safe? Is it safe for Ismark to be outside during this time?
it's fine as long as he gets back soon, and he shouldn't be too long. She doesn't live that far away.
Strix will come and stand at the doorway to look in. What are they doing?
Well, give me a religion check, and you might be up in that one. You can tell they're obviously praying, or were at least. They're in that sort of kneel down. Irina probably at least still has her hands clasped together. So
yeah, well, makes sense. She's like rolls her eyes, doesn't say anything or sighs loudly, but she rolls her eyes.
yeah. She rolls her eyes so much that you can hear it.
You might get a sense from it. I don't know.
After you rock up at the door, you can hear the latch go on the main door, and Ismark comes in and closes it, bolts it, and goes, right. And they'll sort of start coming towards you. So you'll sort of give a curious look at the coffin and the people huddled around it for a second, and then shake his head and go, right, food. Just want to, and he sort of gestures back to the room that you were sitting in, the coffinless one. He's like, and I'll get the food right out. Hopefully it's not burnt. And he'll head into the kitchen. And what does he see when he heads into the kitchen, Cloak?
Probably Coke standing there, or maybe at this point taking the last pie out of the oven with like mittens that are way too big for her, so she just like picks it up and just
mittens that could fit as a sleeping bag.
Just pushes it on the counter. And the soup is probably not directly on the fire, but enough on it so that it keeps warm. And Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I would say with a 16, she probably has everything under control.
All right.
But that's up to you.
Yeah, no, Joe, I'd say that it's all done, ready to go. You just need to lift everything out. You're about to be hit by a lamp. No, not you. Love how everyone was like, "What?" Yeah, as his Mark comes in, he sees this and he sort of quickly has a look over a sight over your shoulder, over you, at the food, and he's like, "Oh, thanks. Look, I've got it from here. It just needs plated up. Do you want to go join your friends?"
Sure.
Sound like Kermit the Frog there.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah, so as you're walking out, he's pulling out plates and stuff like that and gathering bits and pieces. Irina then goes and she pulls from sort of like a side room. So the stairs are directly in front of the main hall. There's the living room that you're sitting in, and then the dining room, and there's sort of like cupboards either side of the stairs. And she goes into one of them and pulls out, or sort of pulling out looks like a folding table of some shape or form, or like coffee table type thing, and she puts it in the middle of the living room area, sort of on the rug just in front of the fire, and then goes and helps Ismark come out with food, and they start plating it and setting it down, and there's a pretty decent meal here, vastly improved by Cloak's doing. So yeah, there's like a soup and stuff and stew, and there's no wings or legs or anything like that. It's all like, if there's anything with meat in it, it's minced into something. So like stews and pies and stuff like that, and then there's a couple of dessert pies in the middle that they've got covered with a cloth, obviously for after dinner. And they sit down and go, dig in.
I'll kind of stand there uncomfortably and just like kind of look at Daniel, who's under the couch.
He's fine.
Yeah, after you say that, both Irene and Ismark sort of just.
Don't worry about him. I'll wake him in the morning.
Doesn't he want to eat?
No.
All right. I sit down and start digging in.
Yeah, I grab a plate as well and go to the fireplace and start digging as well.
Sure.
Yeah, the Strix will also grab some food.
Yeah, sure. Everyone give me a Constitution saving throw. No, sure.
Actually, she'll kind of look at it and try to distill what's in it, and I'll look at them and say, "How do you grow this stuff?"
We don't.
Oh, where does it come from?
There's a couple of farms near Vlaki. It's the only place stuff grows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier about
And what
being
kind of
in
meat
the
is it?
shadow. What's worse?
It's wolf, and then turns to Strix. He's like,
Wolf?
yeah, it's the most abundant. There's a lot of them. It's not bad. It's a bit rough or tough, but you get used to it.
Huh. I've never had wolves. Takes a bite.
Yeah, it tastes alright. It's heavenly, or the taste of it is heavily masked by whatever herbs and stuff they've put into it. But it doesn't taste bad. You do have to chew it for a while, but it goes down.
Okay.
Do we save some for Daniel, or?
No.
No.
Strix is gonna save some for him. She'll probably grab the cover or the towel or something that's over the dessert dishes. She just grabs it and starts putting a piece of pie into it. And she looks at it like, oh, those look good as well. And she starts cutting them up as well, while grabbing a piece of that.
All right. Whenever you start cutting into the dessert, Ismark sort of puts his hand out to you. He's like, hold on. Do they have dream pastries where you're from?
Dream pastries?
Yeah, they're. It's like alcohol, but not. There's a woman. She sells them. She comes through and sells them. She has all sorts of pastries and pies. I don't really like the meat ones, but the dessert ones are great. But they're a bit like an eel. You know, if you have too much of them, you feel a bit funny, and they give you good dreams.
So they're intoxicating.
Yeah, sort of.
I put
And
my
they'll-
piece back.
Yeah,
But they'll give you good dreams.
Yeah, they give good dreams, which in this town's sorely needed.
I think we should save some of that for Daniel. And at least give him the option.
Trying to get out of that mind picture set.
Yeah.
For those who are just listening and not watching, Shin, the player of Daniel, is shaking his head vigorously.
Yeah. All right. So
Do the pies have any other effects?
they can make you feel a bit fuzzy, like beer. You know, if you have too many, you get that warm feeling. But other than that, no.
I can imagine it being smart to eat a piece.
But while he's saying that, Ismark is cutting pieces out of it and hands one to Irina, and he has a piece. He's like, they are good, but if you haven't had them before, maybe I would go with a small piece.
I'm good.
Yeah, as a holy man, I don't eat any intoxicating stuff or drink.
Do you not have a beer at the tavern now? I don't take any of that stuff.
Alcoholic-free beer. Yes.
Yeah.
Spitting it out over the shoulder when no one's looking.
Oh, yeah, it's like dogma. It's like drink it, spit.
Strix will take a small piece,
Sure.
but she takes it on a plate and she really studies it before even digging into it.
Sure. It's there are two on the plate. There's an apple and a cherry. Which do you go for?
Apple or cherry? Apple.
Sure. So yeah, you've got a slice of apple pie.
Yeah. And she's investigating it.
Do you want to investigate them?
Sure.
Okay. What are you looking for?
She would actually probably be looking for, like, if she can spot anything that she would consider looking like a poisonous fruit, if she would have encountered it. Like, can apples be poisonous? Is there something in this? Or,
Okay.
possibly some arcane senses, maybe, like, or is it a magical pie?
You
Have you not
can.
seen Snow White?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Snow White and the Magical Pie. That's a different. You've downloaded the wrong movie. So
Yeah.
it's a family-friendly stream, I swear. If you want to look for a root or anything like that, you can give me a nature check. If you want to check it for magic, it's an arcana check. You can do one or t'other.
I can't do both.
Nah, not unless you want to spend all night stirring it.
I mean, she would.
Yeah. Yeah, I know she would.
Mm, let's go with Arcana, because she will assume everything is magical by nature.
Sure, go for it.
Ooh, that's a nice roll. 23.
23. Yeah, you can actually tell there is a little bit of magic in this. Not a lot, but just a sliver.
She will eat it.
It's part of Strahd. Now his piece is in you.
Again, different movie.
Yeah. No, she takes the piece. She eats it.
Sure. Give me a con save.
Ooh. That's not the greatest. 9.
You feel great. It hits you. It hits you like a wave, and it's very similar to the feeling of having a drink go straight to your head. You're sort of like, whoa, underneath the couch to Daniel. I love you. I love not quite that far, but you definitely feel tipsy and not completely aware of your senses.
She's gonna take out her notebook and start writing this down. Like, stop eating, make space, notebook.
Sure. Irene and Ismark are sitting, they've finished theirs, and they seem to be, even though they had much larger pieces, they seem to be having the same effect as you, Strix. They're sort of just leaning back. Irina is sitting on the leather armchair that's sort of beside the couch, and Ismark is sort of like leaning on the arm of that chair, and they're just sort of leaning into it and leaning back and just chilling.
Kind of lean over to Kane and say, kind of whisper to him, like, "You seem awfully relaxed for people that could be attacked at any moment."
Yeah, seems about right.
I stand up and I kind of start walking through the house, checking doors and windows if they're all closed and boarded up, because...
Yeah.
Was there a second level?
There is, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I walk up to Cloak and say, "You wanna check out upstairs?"
Yeah.
Okay, so we go upstairs.
As you are walking out of the living room together, Irene and Ismark are both like, well, Ismark specifically is like, "You's okay?"
Yeah, just getting ready for the night.
Yeah.
Sure. Don't get too comfy though. We've only got a couple of hours, hour and a half until nighttime.
What do you mean?
Well, we've been attacked at night. Now they haven't managed to get in, and everywhere's bolted down. But they usually give up after an hour, so it's best being awake for it, just in case.
Okay. I go check every door and window and stuff.
Sure. He looks like he's going to say something else as you walk off, and he's like, eh. And yeah, downstairs, as far as you can see, the front door has quite a heavy like sliding bolt that you probably would have heard Ismark pull over whenever he came in, and the windows on the downstairs level that you can see have all got boards on the outside. Not perfect, like some of them are haphazard and there's bits of gaps and stuff, but it's they're boarded-ish. A few of the windows, particularly in the kitchen, have it's like decorative iron bars that you sort of have at the lower level of the window. It's got them and then wooden boards above it, so it seems fairly sturdy.
All right. I'm not an expert by any means, so but I don't even need to make a roll for it. At least if you're okay with that. But she'll just kind of look at it and kind of note for herself, like, what would be the easiest way to get in? The front door is probably the best guarded and the best locked and stuff. She just wants to see if they're be aware.
You'd be able to tell that without a roll easily enough. There's some of the windows that are better boarded up than others. Predominantly in the dining room, those ones don't seem to be as well. Excuse me. Looked after or have been attacked the most or whatever. They're just there's more gaps between boards in the dining room.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I'll take note of it, and
I still go upstairs.
Yeah, I'll follow upstairs as well.
Sure.
Do they allow us? Is there no hey, what are you guys doing?
No, they're
not quiet about it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say if you just yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't go hey, I'm going upstairs, but I'm not I'm not sneaking upstairs. I'm just walking upstairs.
He's just very quiet.
Let's see.
Very quiet by nature.
Well, I am pretty tiny, but you are a pretty big guy.
Yeah, it's more Kane is the
cloak goes up. You don't hear a sound. I go up.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
broke your stairs.
Yeah. Kane is definitely the one that would be noticed. Yes, and he is. As you start to head up the stairs, Ismark sort of looks at you and goes, "Oh, hold on, yeah, I'll and he stands up. He's like, "I'll show you to your rooms," and he comes with you. Sort of hurries to catch up, and then is taking the lead, being like, "Oh, come on, we'll go this way." And he.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to him. I just open the first door to my right and just go in there.
Yeah, I follow cloak.
He sort of stops and looks at you. He's like, "No, that's my room." And whenever you go in, you can see that it's quite a nice room. It's got a nice double 4-poster bed, nice wooden dresser and a rug, and a small fireplace on the outside wall. That's obviously connected to, or potentially connected to, the fireplace in the dining room. And it's quite nicely decorated. And as soon as you go in, Ismark is sort of behind you, trying to usher you out. No, you're on the other side of the house.
I know, but I just want to check the windows.
The windows are fine. They're all closed.
Yeah, I turn around and go to the other door.
He's like, "Wait, no, where are you going?"
Towards the window.
It's just Ismark standing what is going on? He's sort of torn between the two. He's like, to stop the little one, and he ends up he decides to follow Kane, and he comes behind him. He's like, "Yeah, sorry, no, your room's down that way. Come on, I'll show you." And he sort of tries to put his arm behind. Yeah. Okay, no,
It's the same thing. Follow. Yeah.
Okay, so he then takes you down, and there's on the other side of the other side of the house, which is above the dining room that you were in. He takes you over that way, and there's sort of 4 doors, 2 on each side. As he's in, and he's like, "Take your pick of any of these."
Is there a room with a better sight on the main road?
Yeah, that only indicates to the right. He says any of those 2.
I guess I go into the right one.
Sure. You go in. It's quite plain in comparison to the other room that you'd seen. And it's just got a single bed, and it's substantially smaller. Whereas his room looked like it would have taken up the same space as both these rooms, this one and the one beside it. It's obviously just half the size. Has a small bed and dresser with a candle on top of it, and a window at the far side, just a small slat one that you can see overlooks the road.
Okay, good. Just a quick note between. I took my armor off last session, right?
Yeah, you did. It's sitting beside the fire, I believe.
Oh, I need to. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I didn't know I had to tell that. Okay, I carried with me, right? Okay, but that's fine.
Well, it's fine. Do you know what? You got spotted that quickly. I'll say that you were lugging your armor. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's a clink, clink, clink.
Okay, so then I put on my armor and I say, this is a nice room.
Nods goes, "Thanks." And he looks out the window, and he looks out and he goes, It's getting nearly time. And he sort of looks at you, and you're. I take it. Did you put the armor on, or were you just carrying it?
I was just carrying it. Yeah.
So he looks outside, and he goes, "It's getting late. You might want to put that stuff on." And he then goes back and heads back towards his room. Cloak, what were you doing while this was going on?
Oh, nothing strange or anything. At least not in Cloak's opinion. She's just
See, that's the bit that worries me. It's not strange as far as Cloak thinks. That's just like Daniel's perfectly normal.
She just head towards the window and kind of inspected it. Not even so much even touching it, just like looking at it, look if it's locked and stuff. And then she'll head over to the next room.
Yeah, it's locked. It's not boarded up the same as the ones downstairs, but it is locked.
And it's first story, no, higher story. So it's yeah.
So yeah, you head out.
I noted, and I've moved on to the next one.
Yeah,
maybe already the next one after that. So
yeah, so and that's it. That's what you're doing in all of the rooms, just checking.
Yeah.
Okay, so
checking.
Okay, fine. You do that. The rooms that you check are the doors are locked. But as you're coming out of the last one that you were in, is Marcus coming down the hall, and he's like, yeah, your room's down that way. Your friend can show you, but look, it's getting late. I just would prefer to have everyone downstairs in the hall, just in case there's an attack or something. And he turns and heads back downstairs.
I follow.
Tricks. You doing anything of interest in your floopy state?
I'm putting on my armor, by the way.
Okay.
Can I just set it between? Okay, good.
Oh, Strix, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yes. What were you doing while this is going on in your semi-drunken state?
She's probably taking a lot of notes about it because it's her first experience of intoxicating pie in this land. How does this differ from other intoxicating pies? I don't know.
She's never had an intoxicating pie before.
No, exactly, never. But she takes a bit of note, and she makes down a note that Daniel sleeps on the sofas.
Sure.
That's strange enough. But she's gonna look at Irina, and she's gonna ask, so why are you associated with the devil? And who's the devil?
She gives you a strange look. I'm not associated with him. He has a fascination with me.
Why?
I don't know.
What makes you special? Very scholarly, like special as in he's taking interest in you, not special as in, oh my god, you're so special.
Bitch just you bitch till he gets a load of me.
Yeah.
The first hit has been given.
She would ask though.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. Yeah, cutting words don't even need to. Yeah.
It's what, 3d10 psychic?
Yeah. Burn words that way.
Vicious mockery.
Yeah. Jeez. I don't know how to react to that. Never mind her. She'll. You know what? She won't take offense. She'll be fine. But she'll sort of give you a strange look. I don't know, but you don't talk to people much, do you?
No, I talk to people. I don't talk with people.
You talk at people.
At people, yeah. That was the
Yeah.
talking at them, not yeah.
More of an assault.
Yeah. It's not a
Why?
two-sided thing. She sort of smiles and shakes her head. At this point, you'll notice that the effects of the pie are already fading. You really start to feel a bit more back to normal. It seemed like it was quite a fleeting high.
This
for
was
one
a
reason.
short experience. Does experience increase the biggest slice you take? Or is it always rather short?
I don't know. We don't usually have that much, just enough to have a nice dream. Or no dreams at all is sometimes better.
Do you have a lot of bad dreams?
She gestures, nods her head outside, goes, "Like there's a bad dream."
Does it follow you into your actual dreams?
Doesn't have to.
But it might,
Don't know. It's been a while.
because of the pie.
She nods.
I see. So why... And these attacks on the house?
She sort of looks outside and goes, "Yeah, they'll probably be coming soon. Yeah, I should get ready." She stands up and goes over to the front of the house where she dropped her armor. If you remember, whenever you first came in, her and Ismark were hurriedly trying to put the armor on, thinking an attack was coming, and they sort of left it there. She goes over and starts putting her stuff back on.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, Ismark will have joined and will do the same, start putting his armor on. Cian, whenever you've got yours on, will you, are you going downstairs or?
I was planning on looking outside of the window.
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
keeping an eye on the main road.
yeah, it's fine. You keep an eye out the window. Cloak, do you head down?
Yeah, absolutely.
While all that's happening, I just would like to point out Daniel doesn't sleep, so he's just down there, and he's going to re-up mage armor and just listen to everything that's happening and see if he hears any other voices, maybe.
And why would he hear other voices, maybe?
I don't know, just medication.
Or thrown out of
Secretly took a 5 piece.
yeah. Cian, give me a perception check.
Oh, sorry. Four.
Definitely a window.
Wait, I'm lost, guys. Where are you all?
Yeah. What you're looking in is a cupboard. Nothing to see here. All right. Yep.
Wait, a wolf fur coat. This is suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear lots of banging and whacking coming from upstairs as he beats the living shit out of a fur coat. It's okay. I got it. I got the alpha. Yeah. Education is important, but big muscles are importanter. Yeah. So you see the square root of diddly squat as you are going up. Daniel, you're listening intently, so you go ahead, give me a perception check.
Better be better than 4.
Can't be any worse.
It was a natural 20.
Nice.
You hear Cian upstairs struggling.
You just kind of stare at the under part of the couch, concerned.
Yeah.
But he will say nothing.
That's right. Yes, you. To be fair, you do hear the footsteps of Cian moving about upstairs. He's directly above you, but you also hear a click, and another click, and a click, and a click, and a click, coming from outside.
Who's the closest person to me?
Probably Strix.
She's still sitting in the sofa, kind of above you.
Oh yeah, so yeah, she's there.
You like
Still
can
kinda-
see her feet probably in front of your face.
Yeah. You hear Strix's stomach gurgle.
He'll slide out from under the sofa
Yeah.
and kind of sit up and say, "There's clicking," and then he'll go back down.
Huh? And she's gonna lean over and like click under the sofa. Clicking?
Clicking,
Clicking.
clicking.
What type of clicking?
The kind that goes click, click, click.
Do you know where?
Do I know where?
Yeah, it's coming from. So that depends what position you are underneath the sofa, but it's sort of coming from the wall that leads outside, or it's coming from that direction.
What he said.
Yeah.
So from the outside.
Yeah.
All right. Don't worry, I'm just gonna disappear.
Okay.
She's gonna cast. Wait, can I do this at the same time? No, I probably can't. Would DM allow me to cast invisibility and then go into all vision?
What cancels invisibility?
Mm,
Is it an action?
it's an
An attack, I believe.
attacks or cast a spell.
So is moving to your owl vision actually a spell? I don't think it
I don't
is.
think so. I don't think so.
Fuck it, I'll allow it, and I'll look up that one later on.
Cool. Well, then Strix is casting invisibility on herself.
So yeah. So Daniel, you'll just see the 2 feet that are sitting there just go gone. He's probably okay with it.
I mean, she did say, "Don't worry, I'm gonna disappear."
Do you know what the thing is? It's really sad. I could see or hear in Daniel's mind picture. Oh, another one left me.
Yep,
They
no,
all
that's
do.
exactly
They all
no,
disappear.
another friend disappeared. How unusual.
Yeah,
At least this one warned you.
yeah.
It's true.
And then she's going into owl vision, and she's gonna go to the side of the house with owl and just take a look.
Sure. You can see on the outside of the sort of porch, so the sort of stairs go up to like a little porch stairway out the front, and you can see a woman pacing back and forth in front of the living room window, and she's like, I'm trying to describe it, like hands behind the back and like kicking her legs out, that sort of like almost playful, like, I don't know, if you ever see like someone waiting for a bus and they're really bored and they're just like, you know, kicking legs out and walking, sort of swaying a bit.
Like in a half skip, kinda.
Sort of, yeah. She's wearing like a sort of Edwardian red corset and skirt, and I don't know what you call them, but like the lace sort of sleeve gloves things that sort of go along there on both hands, and she has red hair similar to Irina's and a red locket or a red necklace on her, and she's just kicking her feet out, walking up and down.
And she was on the porch outside the living room.
Yeah, so she's sort of pacing from the living room window to the door, and then she sort of does a wee spin and then paces back again.
Okay. Strix is gonna fly the owl down, and probably on what's a good place that would the fence be too far away to have a good vision?
No, you could probably still see her okay from there.
Yeah, she will fly the owl down and sit it on the fence and just like watch the woman.
So yeah, she paces for a bit.
And then she's gonna tell the float owl to circle around, and she's gonna stand up from the sofa, get back into her own self,
Okay.
and she's gonna walk out into the hallway.
Still invisible?
Yeah, still
Okay.
invisible.
Sure. Sure.
And she's gonna ask, "Do you know that there's a woman in red pacing outside the window?"
Who are you beside when you do this? And let me rephrase this. Who are you going to scare the shit out of?
Who's in the hallway right now?
Yeah. So are you like I just like right beside someone? They're like, did you know? Fuck. Or like, is it
No,
just?
she would stand just in the door opening, like generally just saying it out into the hallway, not really standing next to someone, unless someone is standing in the opening.
No, I mean, Irina and Ismark at this point have just finished sort of putting their armour on and finishing up the buckles, and whenever you say that, they both sort of turn and look and go, what? And then they look at Cloak, because she's the only one near them, like,
I'm a staff.
yeah. Like, did you... What?
That sounded like Strix.
Yeah. What? And they sort of look into the living room. Like, where are the...
I'm right here. You can't see me.
Okay. Why can't I see you?
Because I'm invisible. Why else wouldn't you be able to see me?
Fair point.
He's like, sure, yeah, I can see that. Did you say a woman?
Yeah, she's kind of fancy dress compared to all of you. Red corset, lace, jewelry. I mean, to most people we've seen in Barovia.
Red. That sounds like. And his
Red
face,
hair.
he's sort of like Molly's like, that sounds like shit. And as his face drops, you hear like a nice little tap on the door, and it's quite like just someone using their fingers sort of to rattle on the door.
Daniel slides out of under the couch. There's someone at the door.
Yeah, thank
you, Daniel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you hear a voice coming from the door. Like, hey.
Should we be worried?
Ismark nods vigorously.
I grab my staff and I kind of move it around, and I'll say some ancient druidic words, and I'll call upon Hemvar, and you see like out of the staff this this golden light kind of bee crawls. It's bigger than an usual bee. It's like about this size or something, and it just crawls out.
Of course,
and
it's
it just starts kind of swarming around the cloak.
Whenever you send out this bee, you will note, similar to the way Strix's owl was somewhat skeletal and glowing eyes, you'll notice that the blackness on the bee, the black stripes, seem blacker. They seem almost deep, that you could fall into them. That's obviously not the way that it usually is. And it seems to be agitated, I think. Whereas normally it would just fly around you casually. It seems like it's sort of fidgeting and uncomfortable as it goes round. But otherwise, it's still circling you.
All right.
Whenever you cast that, you'll hear the voice from outside again. It says, "Oh, come on. Let me in. My husband's nasty little beasties won't be coming tonight."
Daniel will stand up.
"But I thought yous would be bored, so I thought I'd come and pay yous a visit. Come on, let me in. We can play."
She sounds nice.
You'll hear the click again of her as she sort of starts kicking her feet out and pacing. And her voice again comes then from the window in the living room. And she's sort of peering over the bent boards and stuff to look in. It's like, "Oh, there yous are. Hey."
Daniel waves.
She gives you a little hey. "Do you want to come out and play?"
Do we?
Daniel, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
I can't believe.
Actually, do you know what? Do you know what? Sorry, wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, because Daniel might want to play.
Damn right. Let's see here. What is my wisdom saving throw? That's 11.
11. You want to go out and play?
I do. Daniel starts walking outside.
This woman's a new friend. She could, and she won't go. You believe it? You could believe it. Like it's to the core that she's not going to leave you like the rest of it. She is going to be your friend forever.
Yep, sure, of course.
So
yep.
you're
starts heading outside.
Sure. So you start heading outside.
Yep.
Okay. Rest of you will see Daniel heading towards the door.
Daniel,
Uh,
what are you doing?
Going outside. Come on. Daniel opens the door and starts going outside. There's friends out here.
All right. As you're opening the door, Ismark is like, wait, no, don't,
yeah,
wait.
Is Mark doing anything? I would think that he would stop.
Yeah, no, it's I'm sorry, I was giving you all a chance to step in and help your friend. But yes, Ismark will, as you're opening the door, he'll sort of present you like, don't go out there. You still
Daniel
think?
will look at him and cast friends.
Oh fuck!
Stop.
Right.
He's going to.
Sorry, hold on. Let me go get my dice. I might need them.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Wait, what's happening? Friends? What?
He's casting a spell on him.
Gonna need more d6s. Sorry.
essentially is gonna, I assume, try to get Ismark to agree to open the door.
Also, for those of you playing along at home, in the Discord server is some music that goes along with this lovely lady. Right.
Ooh.
So you cast Friends. Is that a will save?
I just have advantage on all charisma checks.
Okay. Are you going to try and convince him to...
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to say she sounds very nice and helpful, and she wants us to go outside and be friends with her. That's what we want, right? She said there's no wolves.
Am
So
I
it should be
during this
okay.
time? Am I during this time noticing anything?
No. Well, you will have started to hear people talking and the stuff from downstairs, but like you won't have seen anything come up because she was already on the porch whenever you looked and didn't see anything. Or sorry, that was when she was coming up. So you will certainly start to hear commotion and stuff. So if you
No, I step upstairs to just automatically assume the three are doing something weird or something.
that would be a fair assumption.
yeah.
All right, sure,
And then
sure.
Daniel, he'll finish by saying,
She seems to just want to talk and be friends. She said there's no wolves. It's probably better that we talk to her, right?
Give me a roll with advantage.
when my roll in persuasion or
Sure.
let's find out what that is. That's a 21.
Fuck. Right. All right.
Daniel doesn't even wait for a response and starts to open the door.
Yeah, he doesn't actually respond to you because he is still like, nah, something's not right. But he hesitates long enough for you that if you're going out the door, you go out the door. As Irina sees that you're hesitating or that Ismark hasn't quite got it, she tries to go for you, but you're out the door.
Daniel's out the door.
Sure.
Wait, what?
I'm not sure.
Ismark sort of comes back to his senses. He's like, we need to get him back inside now. As oh, go ahead.
No, go.
You heard him. I look at the at Hemvar and I kind of the bee just zoops after you and just grabs you and pulls you back.
It can certainly try.
Yeah, let's go for a contested skill check.
Sure.
There we go.
What am I rolling?
Let me see. You could either do a dexterity or a strength save.
Sure. Okay.
Rook here, I don't know what you're rolling, given that it's a creature.
I would say the creature's either strength or dexterity.
Yep, sure, go for that.
And seeing as it has a strength of 18.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Oh my god, strong bee.
Yeah, I know. So that would be plus 4 is 18.
21.
Oh, fuck! So the bee just grabs you and just tries to pull you and.
Sorry, was that a strength or a dexterity save?
That
Daniel?
was Dex.
Dex,
18
so
plus 3.
yeah. So the bee comes in, tries to grab, and you're just like, lol, no. Yeah, can't touch this.
No.
So yeah, you manage to dodge out of the way, and the bee skitters off a bit before it can recover. As you're outside, the woman turns to you, and looks ecstatic, and she looks like she's going to be your best friend. You're going to go singing off into the distance. It's going to be lovely.
Of course.
Yep. And she starts towards you. And she's like, "Hey, my name's Valenta. What's your name?"
My name is Daniel. Hello.
Hello. Do you want to be friends? And she holds out her hand.
I hold out mine.
Yes.
Yeah. She takes your hand, and it's quite a firm grip she's got, but gentle as far as you're concerned. Like, this is lovely.
the door still open?
The door is still open.
Strix is gonna walk out. Because she can't see what's going on, and she's like, what's going on?
Yep.
And she really want to see.
Yep. So you can see the bee come out, and he misses, and then you can see Daniel like sort of holding his hand out and sort of almost like being pulled away from the door type thing as you come out. Irina and Ismark sort of pull themselves together at this point as well, and both follow Cloak out. Cloak, you said you went out, yeah?
Not yet, but
right, okay,
I'll first call out like, Kane, get down here!
What?
Yeah. Gonna need some of
I
that
assume.
smite!
I think Strix will just
Okay.
manage to just walk by everyone first and like just step out.
I head downstairs.
Sure, so you're heading downstairs, and Cloak, you said you head out, yeah? After you called out, yeah? Okay, cool. So you head out, and Ismark and Irina sort of follow after. Irina attempts to, as Ismark is the first out. As soon as Irina starts to step out, he shoves her back in, and he's like, stay inside. And it wasn't asking, and she looks like she's going to argue, but eventually sort of agrees. Ismark turns to Daniel, and he's like, his name's Daniel, isn't it? Yeah. He sort of says to use.
Yeah.
Daniel, step away from her, please. Do you want to come back to your friends?
She's my friend.
She might seem like that.
She was nice to me.
We're your friends. Come on.
Are you though? Oh, okay. No. I think I'm gonna stay with her.
And she starts pulling him closer towards her and saying, more friends are coming out to play. What do you want to
All
play?
right. We need to get him back inside. I change into a dire wolf.
Oh, that's impressive.
Daniel will cast Friends on the Dire Wolf.
Yeah. Sure, however, it is magic. I'm just going with like perception checks with players is okay, but like a natural 20 doesn't say, oh, you persuade that other player to completely spin around and do what they want outside of magic. But friends is magic, but it's not compulsion magic, is it? Really, it just makes them feel a bit better about you.
Sure. It's enchantment cantrip. I don't know what else to say about that. Buff social deception. Yeah, it's up to you. I'm just telling you what Daniel's doing.
Yeah, I'll let you roll it, but it's down to Rohir's RP as to how that plays out. It's not going to be particularly with friends. If it was like charm or something more stronger, then but because it's this, it's
No, it totally makes sense. And telepathically, he'll say,
Doggy, come play with us.
"That's a 19 plus, Jesus Christ, plus persuade plus 4, so that's a 23."
Okay. Rohir, he sounds very convincing, but again, I'm leaving it up to you, how you feel about the situation, given everything.
All right.
He seems more coherent and seems to make more sense than what he usually does. But there's still this situation going on, so I will leave that in your hands.
All right. Is it like because Cloak's original idea was to just jump the woman and just maul her to the ground, while the others take Daniel back inside, and then she runs back inside as well.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, if that's what
now
you
she's like, should I?
yeah. If you want, you can give me a will saving throw to see if you carry out your original plan or hesitate.
Will saving throw, sure. Oh wait, I have advantage.
Well, hey.
On wisdom against magic. So the first roll was 17, And ooh, the second roll is even much better. It's 24.
Ooh.
Nice.
So yeah, if your plan was to jump and bite, you can jump and bite.
I jump and bite. I just go like
All right, give me an attack roll. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
all right. No, and meanwhile the bee will probably attack as well. Let me see. Extra dire wolf.
Get your initiative dice ready, everyone. Just saying.
Well, I don't know what it is. One and two. Am I still on the stairs? Where am I?
By the time that he attacks, you'll be at the door.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be in range, as they say.
So in your initiative dice is a d20 plus your dexterity modifier.
Which I believe for you is a +1.
Yeah.
So d20 add 1.
I got a 22.
22 to hit.
Yeah.
Easy. Hit.
All right.
So you dive at it, or you aiming, like, are you going for her neck, like to?
Yeah,
Lockjaw?
I just wanna kind of bring her down to the ground, but most importantly, I want her to let go of Daniel.
Yeah, sure. Easy enough. You jump at her and you latch on, and you bite in easily. Also roll damage for me. She lets go of Daniel, but you're a big wolf. You know, dire wolves are substantial in size, and in your expectation, you diving on this woman, she should have went to the ground, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
She stands there and holds you effectively as
seriously?
as you're bit down on her. She's like that. Now she doesn't grapple you or push you away or anything like that, but it's just you have not brought her onto the ground.
All right. Well, she takes 11 points of damage, piercing damage,
11 points. Of piercing.
and must roll a successful DC strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Oh, okay. We'll do the save and throw for you, sure.
So I'm not under her control any longer?
You are. You're not held by her anymore. But if given that she's just got attacked, you can give me another saving throw because it's not a concentration. Given that this has just happened to snap out of it.
12 plus 16?
16.
Wisdom,
Oh,
right?
yeah, easy. So yeah, as soon as Cloak jumps and latches on, and you sort of step back, you sort of snap back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity.
Oop, there goes rabbit.
Yeah. You suddenly just like a veil being lifted, clarity, like
Sure, yeah.
that woman might be a bit of a bitch. Although in Daniel's mind, I'm sure is probably a bit more like, she wasn't all, but I think they still could have been friends. So, but you're definitely not under the spell anymore, or the enchantment. And the saving throw she holds as well, the strength saving throw. So she is still up. Everyone, give me initiative.
Yay.
Oh, so we're automatically forced to go into combat now?
Yep.
No, not necessarily. Initiative doesn't mean combat.
Yeah,
It means ordered and structured rounds, and we have all a chance to decide what we do. And
Yeah.
if we attack, we attack. But
Yeah, so it slows down time so that if attacks are happening, that's then able to play
Okay,
out.
so
But you're well within your rights to like go, okay, I'm just going to leave. But it means you're now in a turn order, so you can only move so far, you can only do so much before everyone else has to do a thing.
So I throw D20.
D20
Nice now.
and add 1, I think, for yours.
Yeah, okay.
So 16 for me.
20 for me.
Nice.
Nice. 20, 16,
19.
19.
7.
Oh,
Damn.
good thing you got that
You already
surprise
had
attack.
your turn.
Yeah, fair point.
20 was
Oh, it goes.
okay. So, Kane, you go first.
Okay, I can do actions if I want, right?
Say again, sorry?
I can do actions, right? If I want to now.
Yeah. Well, you can do actions whenever
Yeah.
whenever you want, really. But yes, you can do. You've got an action, a bonus action, and a movement. Is the three things you can do in your turn.
Okay. So, what does divine sense do? Like, what kind of action is that? Is that like my entire turn, or?
Divine
Like,
sense is an action, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
an action. It counts as
Yeah.
It's essentially the same as casting a spell.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a spell slot; it takes the divine sense slot, but it's an action. Yeah.
So if I do that, then my turn ends, right?
No.
You can still move and
A bonus
Okay,
action.
well,
So
at very least, I used my divine sense at the very least.
sure, and so that
So I cast
detects.
divine sense.
Remind me what all that detects again. So it's good, evil. Is it?
Yeah, as an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet.
Yeah. So you get the same overwhelming evil that you felt, in the last time you cast a spell, but also this woman is emanating it, and she undead, son.
She's undead.
She is undead.
Yeah. So, and now I can do spell if I want, or
No, so a spell would have been your action. Now you might have a spell that
Yeah.
does a bonus action. So
Shield
I think,
of Faith, for example,
yeah,
would be a bonus action,
yeah.
but you don't have to use it.
so
okay.
you
And what about Thunderous Smite?
can be, but I think you have to. Yeah, it's your next attack. So yeah, you can load that up. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I do. I use my Thunderous Smite.
sure. So your weapon's now imbued with the magic, and your next attack will do that extra damage. What does your divine smite look like, or your thunderous smite? Just to put you on the spot,
Yeah. So I got like a hammer, right?
Yeah.
I just go over it with my hand and call out from death life. That's all I call out, and then there's like this yellow shine, and it glows over my hammer.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Important
All plays
question:
Lysander.
do you share the she's undead?
Yeah, that's why I called out. She's undead.
Okay, you called that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I called it out. Yeah.
All right. Is that you? Do you move at all, or are you happy at the door?
Yeah. So how far is everything away then? I guess.
You're all fairly close together, probably within 10, 20 feet of each other.
And so, if I want to move towards her, I mean,
Yeah, you could.
how much?
Yeah, like what, 10 feet probably would get you right to her.
Okay, so I guess I just go next, stand next to Cloak.
Sure. So you stand next to the big direwolf that's busily chomping down on her. Did you say whether you went for her neck, shoulder, anything in particular?
I would think that I'm most likely gone for her arm that she was holding Daniel
yeah,
with.
Sure. So yeah, he was busy chewing on an arm. Sure. Strix,
Yeah.
your turn.
Her first reaction is gonna be, okay, that's a big wolf. Second reaction is gonna be not actually reaction, but this is what goes through her mind.
Yeah, no,
Big wolf.
it's going to use a reaction.
Strong lady. Wait, she's undead? And then he was like stare at her, but like, she's undead. I don't think she's ever seen an undead. So yeah, and she's gonna be like, oh, she's undead? I wonder if, and she's gonna try to cast Charm Person on her.
Charm person on her.
Yeah,
Sure.
because does this work?
What's the saving throw?
The saving throw is Wisdom 14.
Wisdom 14. She does not make that.
Holy crap.
Nice.
Let me just pull up the charms person spell sheet so we can see what's going on here. But yeah, okay, she's charmed.
Yeah, that works. Hi, sorry, you might want to leave. You want to leave. Strix says, so while still invisible to the person she just charmed.
Sure. And is that your turn?
Yes.
Sure.
Wait, isn't that? Are you taking it on your shoulder?
Sorry, I just realised I missed someone in the order. My bad. So yeah, she's charmed. She sort of takes a step back, and looks at wherever the voice happened to come from. She's like,
It's probably still on the porch, but like on the
She's going to
very
be visible
far.
because she casts a spell.
oh yes, of course.
Oh, she knows where I am.
Yes, because you cast a spell, so you're now visible.
Oh yeah, I'm not invisible anymore. I'm
Yeah,
invisible. That's
sorry.
right.
Yes.
Right.
So yes, she's staring at you on.
Just popping out from nowhere.
Maybe I don't.
Just a friendly suggestion.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe I don't want to go.
Perhaps we can reschedule.
Give me a persuasion with advantage.
I got a meeting in like half an hour. Maybe
Yeah,
we can do
it's
it like
not.
next
It's not
week or
good
something.
time. Like my calendar is fully booked.
Yeah.
Can I go to the toilet real quick?
Yeah, we're going.
Persuasion, you said.
Yeah, for
22.
22.
Oh.
She stands back and goes, I suppose. And as she steps back, Cloak and Kane, you are the closest. Well, Kane's not here, but you should see the bite on her arm. She wipes the blood off that from your massive chompers, and as she does, her necklace glows, and there's no marks left whenever she's finished wiping off, and she just sort of goes, well, it's been lovely. See you around.
Until later.
And she winks at Daniel, and then she skips down the steps 30 feet and right of initiative.
I think we should go back inside now.
She seemed nice.
Daniel, whenever you say she seemed nice, Ismark and Irina are both sort of instantly beside you. Like, Irina comes out of the house quickly, puts her hand on your shoulder. Ismark has the other one. He's like, let's go, come on.
Okay.
So he pulls you back inside. You just go.
Yeah.
What about the wolf?
Oh yeah, I just start walking backwards back to the building,
Yeah.
and the bees just kind of kind of zooming around my head.
Yeah. So that was 2 nat 20s in a row, and Kane's dead.
Yeah.
That was
Saw that
unlucky.
coming, right?
I was unlucky. Yeah.
Okay, so what actually happened, Strix managed to persuade her into leaving.
Yep.
And Daniel got pulled back into the house, Cloak backed up into the house, and Strix would probably, like, wait for Kane to also walk into the house and walk with them in.
I can just walk back if I want to now.
Yeah, we're out of combat. or
Yeah,
initiative.
we're out of initiative now.
Oh, okay. Well, I just stare ferociously at her and just steadily walk back into the house. Like backwards.
And Strix walks in like she just had a major scientific discovery.
Sure.
Well, that was interesting.
Is the
We
door
bolted
closed?
Strix will close the door behind her.
All right. The wolf will walk towards the kitchen.
That was interesting. Did you know the charm person works on undead?
Ismark's eyes are just sort of following the wolf that's waddling through the room. And
So-
is he a lycanthrope?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a horse earlier.
How's she doing that?
Magic?
Irina sort of looks at you. You don't say.
I haven't asked. Perhaps we can ask when she is back into her normal form.
Yeah, sure.
So, who was she?
She's one of Strahd's companions.
Good taste in women. Nice.
Does the wolf say that?
No,
Get it? Because he bitter, good taste, and seen there are vampires that eat people in this. Sort of multi-layered jokes here.
Does he know she's undead?
Who?
Strahd, of course.
Yes.
Is he the one that turned her in undead?
He's the one that's done everything here.
Is he undead?
Haven't got close enough to look, but I would assume so.
How old is he?
Very.
Huh.
Should we be worried that she's going to come back?
It's fine as
Well,
long as we don't let her in. She can't come in.
Well, I did say we should reschedule, so I'm gonna assume that she will come back for a later time.
I think we should go up, get some rest. This is Mark. Sorry, by the way. I'll keep an eye out, and
I can do that. I don't sleep.
I'm trying to think of a nice way to put this, but
Yeah.
I would rather you didn't watch out for her.
Why?
Well, you do remember what just happened there, right? And he sort of looks at the rest of you like, am I mad? Am I saying this?
Yeah, but just
Yeah.
a quick question. You say we're safe as long as we're inside?
Yes.
What if she breaks in?
Before he answers that, what's the wolf doing?
In the kitchen, drinking from the sink, like she wants to get like the vampire taste out of her mouth.
Everyone's sitting there listening like they do for a dog. It's like, I must have been thirsty. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, sure. Do you do that for long, or do you?
Yeah, for a considerable while.
All right, just let me know when you come back in.
Sure.
Yes, so Strix asked if why can she not just break in, and
Yeah.
Ismark's like, they can't come in unless you let them in.
They can't come in unless you let them in. So, and by letting in, is that a verbal invitation, or is it enough that the door is open and it can be interpreted as an invitation?
I've never had the will nor the inclination to test that. I don't know.
Does it apply to any structure or just your home?
We've only ever been here.
So you wouldn't know if it applies on a tent or not either.
I don't know.
Huh, interesting. Perhaps we should find out.
new YouTube channel, experimenting with vampires.
She would.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
some rest, and I walk upstairs.
Sure.
Back to my room.
I walk back into the hallway or wherever the other people are.
Piesek! Stop backpedaling!
Yeah, Irina comes over to you and starts to give you scritches.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mm.
She's like, no, he's a good dog. He's a good dog.
I mean, it's not a dog; it's a dire wolf. I mean,
It's close enough. It's fine.
I'm actually a full-size class larger than she is.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. It's a good dog.
Yeah, you're getting them good chin scritches. You can get right underneath there, you know.
How is the sleeping arrangements?
How do you mean?
Where do we sleep?
It's more like, oh, I forgot you weren't there. Yeah, upstairs on the right, there's 4 rooms there. Take your pick of any. I think your friends took the first one on the right.
I take off my armor, by the way.
Daniel, would you like to come with me?
Oh wait, now before I do take off my armor, I'm gonna check outside, see whether everything's really clear.
Give me an art perception check. So give you a chance to redeem yourself
that'd be a
here.
good roll.
No,
Yeah, I know, right?
Anything but perception. Let me do history, please.
Okay, it's 11.
11. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. You can you can see from the road, or up the road a distance. She's still kicking her heels, walking away from the house, but you noticed that she's walking towards 2 other figures. You can't make out them really. It's even hard to discern her. You can only really notice her because of that strange sort of kicking, skipping walk that she's doing. That it's her. And when she joins the other 2 figures, they all sort of turn and walk away.
Strix!
Yeah.
I'm gonna need your all again.
I like how you called up when she's downstairs.
Yeah.
Is it because the owl's up there? The owl can hear me.
This time will bounce better.
Okay, fine. Where? You're screaming back up.
Wait, she went to 2 other figures. She's outside.
Actually, Strix wouldn't scream. She would send a message and just cantrip.
Ooh.
And she will use a cantrip. It's basically a spell that costs a spell slot, and you can do it countless of times. Still an action.
Fucking freaky because you hear her voice in your head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey, how you doing?
like Daniel did with you.
Yeah. Similar
Oh
idea.
yeah.
So she will just point upwards and go, "What is it this time? And what do you want me to look at? In what direction?"
Wait, what's her name again? Valanta, right?
I think
Right?
so, yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Let me
Oh, yeah,
just
okay.
hold on. Let me just double check pronunciation there. Yeah, Valenta. Yeah.
So I guess I'm not screaming where I just can reply in my head, right?
I believe message is 2 ways.
Yeah, it's 2 ways, but
yeah.
you should still whisper it at least.
Okay, yeah, obviously. Okay, well, first off, okay. So, yeah, so I just saw Valenta walk towards 2 different figures, and they just walked off. Maybe you want to check out who that is?
I'll be back in a moment, and she does the old thing.
Sure.
I'm just saying, the owl is very handy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it is.
Good.
I agree,
Yes, owls are very handy, aren't they?
but it doesn't mean
Who?
that.
Yeah, who? I'm not bitter at all.
Okay, so for the record, I agree with you, but Strix is gonna give you attitude. So yeah, she does that.
Does it have limited slots, by the way, of usage for all? No.
Oh no, the owls are super handy.
Okay.
Familiars are super handy.
Well, familiar in general, yeah. Although if you're I think, is it a warlock or a sorcerer, you can get an imp. I think it's a warlock.
Those are great.
That's fucking awesome. That's just like, yeah, it's a little friend with fireballs. Or firebolt, I think it is. Isn't it firebolt they can cast?
I don't know, they can do tons of shit.
Yeah, they're amazing. Anyway, while that conversation is going on, do Daniel or Cloak do anything?
Cloak will definitely enjoy the scratches a bit, but her main concern is Daniel, and she just keeps an eye on him, and is just ready if he decide I want to go outside again. She's just gonna gunk, squash him up against the wall,
Yeah, struggle, snuggle. Yeah.
Daniel sits on the floor staring at the door.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So you go into your aisle then?
Yeah.
Do you follow after them?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, with the aisles, dark vision and all that. Yeah, you can spot them easily enough. There. Valenta is in the center of the three, and she's still skipping. The other two are walking more, for want of a better word, ladylike, sort of hands clasped in front of them, walking, and they're just sort of dandering down the road. The two that you can see, the other two that you don't know of, one of them is dressed similarly to Valenta. However, she has a black cloak around her, and then similar. It's not a corset as such, but like a red, what you know, there's string dresses, the ones that have the strings along the front to tighten them. They're not quite corsets, but they're that sort of era. Does that make sense?
So it's
like something you would see at a medieval fair type thing. Those style.
Yes.
I have pictures. They will be in the Discord later on. So one of them is wearing that and the dress. Same long red hair, although this is a bit more curly. Valenta's was quite straight. And she's wearing a tiara, sort of jeweled thing with a small red stone in it. The other one is quite bright in contrast. She's wearing a white dress with gold sort of embellishment down it, and quite nice earrings, and looks very much like a noblewoman type deal. And again, red hair, but it's quite styled as a noblewoman might be.
Yeah.
And they're walking.
They're walking, not doing anything specific.
No, they're just walking.
Yeah.
They're walking.
Yeah, he got it.
And then they're gone.
They're gone.
As you're watching them, they get to a certain distance, and then all three of them just go into mist and disperse.
Say what now? And Squix's gonna come back to her body, and she's gonna pocket dimension her O.
Yeah.
They turned into mist.
Yeah, it's marked. Gives you like. Okay.
Or did I? They were walking, as they do, I suppose, and at a certain point, they just dispersed. I wouldn't say disintegrated, but it was like they. Was it misty?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like they either became mist, or disappeared into the mist, or dissolved themselves into the mist. Can they travel through the mist?
Irina and Ismark are both sort of looking at you like you're mad. Irina's still haphazardly giving scritches, but is looking at you like.
They seem to be leaving, at least, though.
And that's where we're going to leave it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, dun.
All right, we need to get a leash for Daniel.
Yes.
Because that guy is just going to follow everybody.
Okay, Strix has an idea for how it's at least keeping indoors during the night.
Ratchet straps and belts and rope.
She's gonna give him something he wants.
A bird.
Yes.
Okay. He's just the whole night just.
Here, pet an owl.
Fair.
See if that works.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna end
This
the
was-
stream. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
Bye.